Hi guys, Kandy here with Simply Kandy. I'm here to share with you a custom order for Kandy Green. She wanted a journal for her personal journaling. She wanted to have lots of pages. This has over 200 pages in it. And she picked this book out of books that I have to have her journal be done in. On the spine I added some laces, and I accidentally forgot to stick this ribbon underneath this lace, so when I added it on I decided to add this on to give it a little bit of reinforcement, and so I think it turned out as a happy pretty accident. This book plate here with some brads and a piece of paper for her to write on or stamp on, whatever she decides to do. It has some fun little seam binding up here, and I crinkled up the seam binding for the ribbon by adding water to it and just scrunching it up and letting it dry. So as we go inside here, I decoupaged on this beautiful napkin that I picked up at Tuesday morning. I love how it covered over the white taping that I did to reinforce the spine and makes it just look so beautiful and vintage, because she wanted this to be vintage. She told me she liked the butterflies on this napkin, so it ended up being a great coincidence that the paper I had picked out had butterflies in it as well. So they're all kind of a creams and natural colors in here to go with the vintage look. She did want a little bit of tea or coffee dyeing, so a few of the pages are coffee dyed. Some are some different colors, some natural paper, some lined paper that's been coffee dyed, some of the designer paper that I chose. Oh, this got clipped to both two papers there. A little tag. She likes tags to write little short snippets on. Some ledger paper. Some blue paper to go with the blues. Some more of the designer paper. And I didn't do a lot of decorating in this one because she wants to be able to decorate it herself. And this is going to come with a pack of vintage laces and some of the seam binding for her to use in the decorating of it herself. Little pocket here in the center of this signature with the vintage book Edwardian Diary of an Edwardian Lady, and that's I think it's in the 70s or either the 80s that they reproduce it of the 1800 book, so the book itself is even vintage. And more of the same pages. She wanted lots of journaling pages and some beautiful designer pages in here. So that is what we did. She also wanted lots of tags, so I made tons of tags. So I did some cutouts of papers that had some fun lines on them. Some pretty blues, since we're doing a little bit of blues in here. And then I cut up pieces, the offcuts from the designer pages in the book to make more journaling cards. That was signature 1. Here's signature 2. It's going to be more of the same. I added a little trim on 2 of the I added a little vignette here on this one. She said to do a little bit. So on each signature I did add one little vignette with some lace and then these beautiful vintage stickers I found. On here I added this lace to it as well, and a different vintage crocheted lace trim with this cute sticker that has a little bird on it that went with our theme. Some more tags, and so I did make some tags as well out of the designer paper. Had quite a bit of extra cutoffs with this paper, since the journal is a smaller size journal and the paper is 12 by 12. So it gave me lots of room to make tags and journaling cards with. I mean, this paper is just so beautiful. I really loved it, and I'm glad I found it for her. Another pocket at the center of the signature. Another tag. More of the beautiful designer paper. And so all these signatures are very similar. So that was signature 2, just different designer papers, and a bit different tags and journaling cards, and that's the only difference. Look at this one with the butterflies. I love it. And I love how the coffee dyeing turned out. It has some fun looks to the paper. And then I also added a bookmark. That's what comes up the spine, and I turned it into a bookmark so that way she can mark where she's at in her journal as she uses it. Another tag. So I live in a travel trailer, so I don't have a very big stove, so it's pretty much, and it's a gas stove, so it's pretty much impossible for me to coffee dye paper in the oven. So I don't do much coffee dyeing in the winter, but as the weather gets warmer, I'm able to do it outside. I do it out on the ground. I have a concrete slab outside my trailer, and so that's how I do my coffee dyeing, is by laying it out in the sun, and it dries up real fast that way. And I get this beautiful coffee paper, and I often, because it is a little windy here in Arizona, I often lay down some rocks on it, and that gives it even more fun patterns of the coffee dyeing as well. And then look at this sticker. It has this cute little heart on it with a branch and leaves sticking out. I thought that was real pretty. Look at this page with the roses. I just love it. And the coffee dye pages. She wanted some lined paper in here, and so that is what I did, but I ended up coffee dyeing it as well. It's just so pretty to coffee dye, and just love the way it turns out. It unfortunately does take the lines away a little bit, but I think it still is beautiful. Another center of the signature. Oops, that got stuck there a little bit when I glued it. There we go. More the beautiful coffee dyeing. Another tag. Another beautiful designer page. And we're just about done with the 4th signature here. And then we're on to the 5th one. Look at this one with the frames and the doily prints and the butterfly. It's just, I love it. And some of the lines transferred to some of the plain pages, which I love as well. It just makes more fun, the patterns on the pages. So I do love the effects that coffee dyeing gives paper, the crinkly effects, the sound, the beauty of looking at the paper. Look at this designer paper, is so pretty as well. I'm really in love with this book. I think it turned out great. So I made this pocket a little bit different because there was butterflies on the back side of this sheet, and I didn't want to cover them up. So I made it a little fold pocket so that you could see the butterflies both on the outside and on the inside. This clock just all turned out very vintage, very yummy, very lovely, and I just am very happy with how this journal turns out, and I hope Kandy is in love with it as well. More journaling tags that I made out of the cutouts of all the designer paper. So lots and lots of tags in here for her to use. She wanted tags, so I gave her tags. And that's the back of the last signature, and I put that pretty napkin on the back side as well. And I think this turned out to be a very lovely, very vintage, very chunky book. It's just going to get chunkier as she adds to it, but that's why I put the tie on there, so she can tie it up and when she's not using it. So I am hoping that this is exactly what she had in mind when she ordered this book, and I will come back again next time to share a video when I have a new book to share with you. And if you like this video, please share it with your friends, and subscribe to me here on YouTube, and I'll talk to you guys later. Thanks, bye.